Hola, 'tis I, Alycia. How are you? I hope you're doing well. All right, let me make sure. Pull my microphone closer. I saw a comment. Someone's like, you need a mic. I have a mic. I'm telling you, I don't have a producer. It's a one-woman band over here, people. It's kind of hard. Sometimes my light's too bright. Sometimes my overhead camera is wrong. It's just, people, I'm doing the best I can. I apologize. I am not the camera person production team of the world. So, what's new? Guess what is in stock? It's here. There's only limited quantities, but it's here. So, Tell It Like It Is Tarot is here. This is here as well for you. True Crime and Conspiracy deck. So those are here for you. So in case you're not aware, let me show you what we got going on. Here we go. So, Tell It Like It Is Tarot deck. This is the box. This is what it looks like. It's a box with cards inside. This is True Crime and Conspiracy deck. This is a different type of boxed item here. But inside, all the cards for the True Crime and Conspiracy, okay? So you see, they're different sizes, okay? This is the tarot deck that you've seen me use on this YouTube channel. The backs are all the same. They look like they're aged. They're aged by me digitally. And these are all the cards. You can look on my website to see what the meanings of the cards say. So they're, all the images have been weathered or dirtied up to look dirty, so they look like they're old cards, okay? So you can see, it looks like there's spots on them and stuff. They're clean. They're clean when you get them. They just looked aged. Anyway, so that was my deck I created. Give you, it's good for you if you're just learning tarot and, trying to learn all the meanings. That can be hard for you. So these are my meanings I've put on this deck. So you can read them reversed. You can read them upright, up to you, however you want to do it. It's also good, in case you're like one of those people and like me, and every once in a while you just lose your train of thought about like, what am I looking at? And it's a good little reminder that way. So up to you if you're interested. I know quite a few of you have been asking, when is this coming in? So I'm telling you, there's a limited amount that I have. So once those are gone, I'm looking see if I can find another supplier, because this last time, this took a while. You guys who've been watching me, that took a while to get that. And this one there's slightly more in stock of the True Crime and Conspiracy. I like how I say we. I don't have a mouse in my pocket. It's just me. I guess I like to pretend there's more than me. There's me and my clone. Anyway, this is a bigger deck. Definitely thicker. This is why I always separate mine, because I've separated into the cards that I feel relate to the true crime and the cards that I relate to the conspiracy. And sometimes, as you noticed with the Alec Baldwin reading, those two pieces seem to interact, and so I kind of went whole deck on that. But this one big deck is smaller, okay? This is not the size of a tarot deck. It would be ridiculous size if it was that big and that thick. I mean, don't you dare, you little naughty one. But this is the size True Crime and Conspiracy deck, tarot deck, okay? So we can see, there they are. And the dimensions are noted on the website in case, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot how big this is. This is standard playing card. This is tarot card size. Okay, so that's that. All right, back to, let's have some more chit chat. Okay, so I'm not even going to need these today. I'll just move these off to the side. What else is going on here? There's a birderer in my neighborhood. A birderer. Not a murderer, a birderer. I don't know. It was this morning, I'm taking my kid to school, and I see this bird fly out of the tree, and I'm like, he's carrying something with him. And I'm like, birds don't take suitcases, so I'm not quite sure what he's got with him. And they're like, that looks furry. I'm like, homie's got something. But I like I do with all the animals in the neighborhood. Like I talk to all the bugs, like to the praying mantis and the butterflies and the lizards, and I'm like, hi, and I'm yeah. If you walk, my husband and I walk around the neighborhood, and I'm always like talking to all the bugs and stuff. So yeah, I'm one of those people. I used to move snails off of the sidewalk so they wouldn't get stomped on by the thoughtless children. Anyhow, so this bird left my tree, and I was like, bye, see you later. And then I noticed, I looked down, and I'm like, I connected the dots. The little furry thing, whatever it was that bird had in its little claws, and then there's feathers down below, and I think it was another bird. It's a birderer in my tree, killing other birds. I was like, oh no, horrible. Murder in my trees. It's horrible. I mean, my trees this year, because we did not have the guy come and trim them, because he doesn't actually know what he's doing when he trims them. He basically takes all of the leaves off the tree, and he leaves like 4 leaves total on the tree. It looks kind of 1313 Mockingbird Lane, but not in a cool way. It's kind of like, I'm looking back here at this picture of, it's close, but that's natural when leaves fall off trees. Anyhow, so our tree has still got leaves on it, and so the birderer has been living there, killing these innocent victims. Justice for the bird victims in my tree. It's horrible. I'll have to go say a prayer out there later. Anyway, I just wondered, I didn't think we actually had birderers here. I thought this was a classy neighborhood. It apparently is not. Birderers are everywhere. So beware. Have a neighborhood watch. I should put up a sign about that, and everybody will be like, duh. All right. So what are we going to do today? We're going to look into one of you lovelies sent me this idea, and I was like, yeah, because we're not talking about any current events that'll get us all burnt out, right? This is about a ghost story about Chicago's most famous ghost, Resurrection Mary. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Resurrection Mary. I'm going to read to you a little bit about her. If you don't know anything about her, I didn't know anything about her because I don't live in Illinois. So, the story goes that Mary had spent the evening dancing with a boyfriend at the O. Henry ballroom. I'm like, is O. Henry a candy bar? And is that, like, did they sponsor this ballroom? Or is, like, Henry just some, like, baller at the ballroom and everybody's like, oh, you're O. Henry. I don't know. Okay. At some point, they got into an argument and Mary stormed out. She wasn't taking whoever this boyfriend's stuff. She wasn't taking his crap anymore. So she leaves the ballroom. She walks up Archer Avenue. She didn't get very far when she was struck and she was killed by a hit-and-run driver, supposedly. She was taken off the earth plane by a hit-and-run driver. That driver fled the scene, leaving Mary to pass away. Her parents found her and they were grief-stricken at the sight of her dead body. I'm reading this from Wikipedia. You know how it goes. People write stuff and it's just like, duh. Who, like, you know, if we were watching in some alternate dimension, would there be people like, her parents found her and they were so ecstatic at the sight of her mortal body? No? Okay. They buried her in Resurrection Cemetery wearing a beautiful white dancing dress and matching dancing shoes. The driver was never found. Okay. So, there's been sightings for years. Years and years and years. There's sightings that shown up at a nightclub, and then some cab driver picked her up, dropped her off out in front of the cemetery, and then I think she disappeared. Yeah, he came back the next day trying to inquire about this chick because she didn't pay her fare. And then there's cars that talk about that they almost run her over in the middle of the road, I guess. Then it was also, she reportedly burned her handprints into the wrought iron fence around the cemetery in 76. And then, of course, the cemetery stated, no, that didn't happen. But they cut out that portion of the fence so all the looky-loos wouldn't come by and check it out. Well, if that didn't happen, I don't know. Maybe someone was having shenanigans. I don't know. Then in 79, an article in Suburban Trib written by Bill Geist, detailed a story of a cab driver, Ralph, who picked up a young woman, a looker, a blonde. She was young enough to be my daughter, 21 tops. I don't know what accent that is or impersonation. Anyway, near a small shopping center on Archer Avenue. A couple miles up Archer there, she jumped with a start like a horse and said, "Here, here." I hit the brakes. I looked around and I didn't see no kind of house. "Where?" I said, and then she sticks out her arm and points across the road to my left and says, "There." And that's when it happened. I looked to my left like this at this little shack, and when I turned, she was gone, vanished, and the car door never opened. May the good Lord strike me dead, it never opened. And Geist described the cab driver Ralph as not an idiot or a maniac, but rather, in Ralph's own words, a typical 52-year-old working guy, veteran, a father, a Little League baseball coach, a churchgoer, the whole shot. So, the simple explanation, according to Geist, is that Ralph picked up Chicago's most famous ghost, Resurrection Mary. So, they don't know exactly who Mary is. They've called her Resurrection Mary, I assume because Resurrection Cemetery is supposedly, I guess, where she buried, and I assume it's all in that same area. Don't know. Like I said, I've never been to Illinois. Did I drive through Illinois at some point? Don't know. Anyway, I've never been to the cemetery. Anyway, so they don't know. Either she is, I wrote down, there's one lady they thought it was, Maria Bregovi, but she died in the downtown Chicago loop. So then a lot of people don't think it's her. So now they're thinking it's Anna Marija Norcas, and she died on the way home from the O. Henry Ballroom, supposedly, in an auto accident. So I'm curious, like, is she real? Is she Anna Marija? I don't know. I'm so horrible with these names. Anyway, let's look into it because I'm totally curious. All right, so you know what? We're going to whip out the pendulum first because, like, let's do that to see, is this, like, is she, like, legit? Is she too legit to quit? I want to know. She's not MC Hammer. She's cooler than MC Hammer, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm probably offending the whole MC Hammer community right now. I apologize. Okay. Oh, I need to get my notes over here so I can read them while I'm doing my stuff here. All right. Resurrection Mary. Okay. I'm going to put this... Trying not to make it so it's like so in your face. It's my setup here in the studio. That's not a studio. Okay. Let's start with, if it's going forward and backward, that's yes, it goes this way. It's no. If it goes this way, it's like rephrase. Okay? So, Resurrection Mary. The ghost of Resurrection Mary. Is there really a ghost who everyone would identify as Resurrection Mary? Is she real? Yes. Okay, thank you. Resurrection Mary, we're looking to figure out your true identity. Is your first name Marie? Resurrection Mary, is your first name Marie? No. Okay. Resurrection Mary. The ghost known as Resurrection Mary. Is your name Anna Norcas? Okay, so we're going with Anna Norcas. She could have said no too, but she didn't. All right. So, Anna, are you okay? Okay, you're okay. Okay, Anna. All right, so let's see now. Okay, we got confirmation. We got Anna, so it's Anna Norcus. That she's going to be. It's probably based, I guess. Man, I don't know. Did they call her Resurrection Mary because of the Virgin Mary? Did they call her Resurrection Mary because they thought it was Marie? And I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right, let's see. Why is she still here? Why is she still around? Come on, Resurrection Mary. Why are you still around, Anna? Those were the best times of her life. And she doesn't want to leave them behind. So that's almost it's such a fulfilling time in her life. That time where she spent in the ballroom, the time where she was, dancing, and just that whole period of time was the like pinnacle of her life. She was so happy. That was just it's like the best time in her life. And so she doesn't want to leave it. She very much enjoys like staying around there. It's like it's interesting because it's almost like she doesn't want to go, as they term it, like go to the light, go to the other side. She doesn't want to do that. She's just kind of like, meh. She's not quite sure either, like how long she can stay on this side or in this dimension, or however you want to phrase it. She's not sure how long she can stay here, but she's happy to be here because she likes it there. It seems like she must have been having people that have tried to cross her over, but she's not into it. And I don't know if people have claimed to have crossed her over, but she's kind of like, well, you can think what you want. If I stop responding, then you think I crossed over, and then good, win-win, I get you out of my hair, and I can keep going back to what I'm doing here. But yeah, she didn't want to go. She's happy here. Wow. Okay. Makes sense, Anna. I get it. Is your intent, or let's see, let's not say is it your intent, what do you think about being known as Resurrection Mary? She's kind of funny. She's like, I couldn't have done it alone. It's like without everybody like seeing me and coming to visit me and building the thing, I couldn't have done it alone. Oh, you're funny, Anna. Okay, let me see. All right. Like it wasn't her intent. Okay, so it's almost I don't know if the sightings of her, the legend of her being seen all over town, I don't know if this spread rather quickly after she passed, and that was like something that she wasn't like too keen on at the beginning, because it's like she still had family grieving, and that's not what she wanted. It was like almost kind of it feels like she was trying to like avoid being seen by it. Like it's almost like a teenager kind of vibe of like, I'm trying to avoid being seen by my family. I don't want to upset them, but I do want to like keep going out and doing stuff. Like, so it was trying to do this and not get seen. There was some element of, I don't want to be seen. I'm not trying to upset anybody. I don't want them, worrying about me. And yeah. But then it's almost like, I don't know, like at some point, maybe it's when the family or the majority of the family leaves the area or passes away, moves on, whatever. Then it's almost like she felt like she could start to grow her energy. And that's when it feels like then it's the sightings start to like grow in intensity. So I don't know if this leaving home is leaving the mom and dad leave the earth plane, or they leave the area or something. But well, let's see. Who's this leaving home about? It's like a whole story in this. Okay, so part of this is like leaving the waiting to appear, waiting to be seen out on everybody's radar. It's like I was trying to be a good spirit. The way she was like, I was trying to be a good little spirit and, you know, just do what I was supposed to do. Part of that is because like the father had like a strong, feels like he has a strong religious type thing of like, this is how it goes. So I don't, I guess I would depend upon their religion and their beliefs, but it would be almost like, you know, you depending on the religion, like, okay, well, then you pass, and then you go to purgatory, and then you go to heaven, or whatever. You're not seen here at all. Ghosts don't happen, kind of thing. So that was like one thing, like I'm trying to avoid. I don't want that. My intention was not for him to see me, and it's almost like this would throw him for a loop. So it's interesting. But this is why she was like, I'm waiting till after hours when I know he's in bed to go out. And I don't know, like there's no end game here, really. It's just I don't want to move on, but okay. This is, oh, Anna, you're funny. Okay. So anyway, it's like she couldn't have done this without all the folks coming out talking about her and stuff. That was like never her intention, but she's okay with it. I guess this was just her whole thing. Okay, so I'm just stymied. It seems like Anna's just kind of, she's happy. So far, she just wants to stay here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I had no idea that it was just going to be this kind of reading. Anyhow, yeah, make sure, go grab it now before it's gone. A lot of people like to buy these two together. Okay, I'm telling you, this is limited stock compared to this one. There's slightly more of this than there is this. So go grab it now. It's live in the shop at AlyciaWicker.com. You're going to find a link down below in the description box to get yours, matey. And with that, I'm going to thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Adios.